Hello and welcome. Hello, Lynn. How you doing?
Hi, Ruben.
Yeah, how's
What a
everyone doing out
beautiful
there?
intro. What a beautiful
Thank,
visual intro.
thank you. I worked on it today and tried to get some stuff going on there. Thank you. Though. I really appreciate that because it took me a while to figure it out. Um,
It's
yeah,
gorgeous.
thank you. How are you doing today?
Doing great. I'm doing really good today. I feel happy and content and really good.
Yeah, today is our first Friday without Trump, which is awesome. It's a Trumpless Friday, and I think we're going to keep that feeling going on here. Everybody out there, we are still have you in our hearts out there with dealing with this pandemic, and everyone out there, doing their thing to kind of get by here. But it is, it's a, it feels like someone's actually doing something about it now. So that kind of makes it happy to see that happening too. So let's see, we have Christmas.
Hi,
Happy Friday, y'all.
Chris.
Yeah, sending much love to Ruben and Lynn. And Lynn, who do we have today?
Who do we
Who's going to
have
be our guest?
today as in
The,
what? Our
our
guest?
guest.
We have
Yes.
Sarah Barkawi, who is amazing, who's a friend of mine and also someone I really respect out of the community, who is, she works for Fulcrum Property and she's the VP of marketing there, but she's also very active in the arts community and
Yeah.
she's on the board for the Verge. She'll talk about that today, but she's just an overall incredible person with great energy. And I'm just so happy that I've found her in my life.
Yeah, and we're happy she's here, and happy that she came along to do the show. And how's everybody out there? Post how you're doing out there. 'Cause we'd love to see how you're doing. Let's we have Victor. Let's go grab a drink. That's right, Victor. How you doing, man? Good to see you. He is in San Diego, so it's always nice to see you.
Oh, love San
Um,
Diego.
yeah, and I don't know if you guys know about ASMR, but we have it going on in the background with Lynn's dog and her yawning. I mean, her snoring.
Oh,
So that's
yes,
great.
that is something that I programmed. You did that beautiful intro, but I have actually programmed the dog to do this beautiful sound in the background
Yeah.
for meditative
So
properties.
yeah, and so Lynn too is a wonderful artist. So we are going to show some art today and some talking about different parts of Sacramento and art today, and keeping the general vibe alive, which is a good vibe. And but if you're doing, you're having a hard time out there, please, get out there and tell us what you're feeling out there too, because we want to help you too and just keep you in our hearts too. And we also have Matt. Hola, Mr.
There's
Matt.
Matt. Hi,
Yeah.
Matt.
Hey, Ashley. Happy to be here too. Happy, Ashley's here too. Great.
Hi,
We got a lot of people coming
Ashley.
in, so it's great to see everybody out there. And once again, it is our first Trumpless Friday, so I'm sure a lot of people out there are feeling good. Um, well, most people are feeling good. So I'm feeling good. So I want to keep that going. And everybody out there too, as you will, to which you are. So, Lynn, how's your week going on?
My week's going really good. I feel really encouraged and happy. And, there's been a shift in the universe, in my opinion. And I've had a couple little very, very minor obstacles. My studio flooded and some other things have arisen. But I'm just so pleased right now over the shift in the states, that in the globe, that I feel really good about things. So I feel really positive, and without
actually
getting too political, I feel really, really good.
And I actually said woohoo,
Yes,
about the change, right?
Exactly.
And,
you summed it up.
And it's true. Oh, hola, Teresa, how you doing? And Teresa Teresa has a show tomorrow morning at 6:00, I believe. 6:00. So she's doing her first show. We taught her StreamYard, and she's going to do a show about healing and waking up and having it, waking up in the morning at 6 in the morning and doing that. So, if you're up in the morning, get on it. And she's an Aztec dancer and a light worker. So some good stuff going on. So,
maybe she could tell us where to find her show.
Yeah, Teresa, why don't you put that in there for us so we know what to do, where to go to. So, like I said, without getting too political, we'll say the energy has shifted. As someone coming from a place of, as a child, as a kid with an abusive parent, I was telling someone, this is what it feels like, when someone leaves and you're like, okay, it's over with, right? And, because I just feel the sense of everybody's energies just got that lifted off of them, right? It's like you don't have to hear about it anymore. There's no more, outbursts on social media. There's nothing else that it's just, let's get to work and let's get this done. So I feel very blessed too in this situation too myself. So So and remember, everybody out there too, we do love you, and we hope you have a good week, and let's keep this going. So we're going to bring up a song from so Low Fly Now is an old Sacramento band, right? We talk about, play some stuff, and song's called Glad to Be Alive, but it's there for a reason too. Let me see. Chris says, "Today's was amazing last night. Her words, wisdom, healing really moved me." Yes, I remember that. And Teresa is a good, she's a great healer. So if you ever need any healing, maybe you need your studio cleansed, she's a very good at that too. So, and she also put that up for her.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and we'll put that in the I think in the chat, and I think it's a clickable chat. So just click on that chat on that, and you'll be able to get there. So right now we are going to come up, and we're going to have Sarah come up. Everybody sit back, relax. Actually, before you go, I need to know what you're drinking. So, Lynn?
I have a nice red cab here. Perfect temperature, delicious. Celebrating.
I too. I went to Argentina and just drink some wine tonight and have a good time. So
I think that Sarah had a spicy margarita, which we'll see momentarily.
Right. Perfect. So let's go to our song. We'll be back to our video, and we'll come back for you guys. This is Lo-Fi Nows. Can you hear it? Ah, there's Sarah. Welcome everybody to the Cali Cocktail Hour, Sacramento, California, and in the universe around you. Yes, Mike.
I haven't seen them in such a long time.
Yeah. Yes. It's probably the what do you call it? The closest I've been to going out in a
Yeah,
long
I
time.
feel
So,
like I just went to a show. I forgot how good they are. They're so
yeah.
great.
And Mike says the relief is indeed now comes the work. Yes. We're going to give ourselves a little bit more time before the work comes in to give us time to to breathe and and that sigh of relief. I'll keep on music or I'm too shallow. No, that's you're good. Yeah. These guys rock. Who are they? Well, they're old Sacramento band. And I don't know if you know that building. That building's over by the press club. What was the? It was
It was
now
a
it's
hair
by
place, right?
yeah. And before that was a I don't know. It changed so many different things on there. So
It's a
but
beautiful historic brick building. I
yeah,
cannot.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So who now? So hi
There's
Sarah, how you
Sarah.
doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for
Everybody, this
having
is
me.
Sarah. Yes.
Hi.
I'm
Hi,
s- I'm
everyone.
still I'm trying to I needed that song to get me going. It's called "Glad to Be Alive." So a lot of stuff I play for the for the lyrics and everything else, but because I'm getting very sucked into the snoring ASMR, but going on in the background.
Do you hear it? It's so
Yes,
embarrassing.
coleslaw
I
is
can't wake her up. She's a sweet little sleeping
yeah.
angel.
And Mike, the band is called Low Flying Owls. They're originally from Sacramento, so yes. And actually, they're in LA now, so they are originally from Sacramento. So, and I think I talked to Jared, the singer. They're recording some new music right now, and we're going to have him on as soon as in April when his music is up and going too. So that'll be interesting. So, oh, look at this.
Hi, Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren's really
Oh,
cool.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. So we are back. So how you feeling today, Sarah? This is a Feelings Friday, so feel free
Yeah.
to emote anything you like.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
mean,
said,
big week. Big week. Weight lifted. Pretty awesome. Exciting.
yeah.
Also really happy it's Friday. I have 2 little kids at home, and we're in pod life hell, where 1 week they're at our house and 1 week they're at another family's house. So this week they were at our house. And while it's lovely to have 4 children here while I'm trying to work, I am really happy this week is over.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The little things, right?
Yeah. The little things.
And it is true. It's the little things in life that keep us going too, especially like right now during this time of, like I said, I was going to get coffee today, and I really had to figure out what I was going to wear. I'm like, never really had that happen before, so it was exciting. I got to go to 2 places today, so I was like, yeah, all right. So
Well, you got me to put on red lipstick on a Friday night, so thank you.
and I was going to too. I really was, but I figured, if I drink enough red wine, then
Yeah, there you go.
it'd help out.
I'll have purple teeth
Oh
for
my
you in
God,
about
Jesse.
15 minutes, so we're good.
Oh,
And here's
that's
Jesse.
crazy. Hi, Jesse. He's saying
Hi,
free
Jesse.
Rocky, which I feel like needs an explanation.
Well, Jesse, that's gonna be a long explanation.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Do
so
we
we'll have to wait on that.
Jesse? Okay, we'll wait on that.
Okay, yeah. So, good evening, Gabe. Hi, how you guys?
Hi.
Yeah.
It's like I'm hanging out with my homies right now. This is so cool.
Aw.
Yeah, yeah, and like I said,
Special
we
guest.
Yeah,
Yes.
I miss them all.
and so we create this space so everybody can come out and talk and hang out and do your thing, talk about anything you want. And I know that you're an art lover. I see you at many events. You took a picture of me and Lynn. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was such a good one too. Your outfit was amazing.
Well,
Ruben took me up a notch for sure with his outfit.
Yeah.
I said, well, you don't have anywhere to go, and you have to go out once. So, you
Yeah,
better make it good.
right.
So, yeah.
That was
So,
a very monumental, really nice event, and a lot of great things and connections came out of that day. So thank you.
Yeah. So the event was it was art in the park, and it was Lynn and I share a neighborhood in West Sacramento, and there's a central park that the community kind of can share, and we threw an art show for her in the middle of COVID where people could come and check out her work. And I think it was just such a moment of realizing how hungry people are for gathering. We did it in a safe way, and I thought it was really fun and good to see people, and a really awesome way to show your art.
yeah, I remember going there. It was an awesome event. And
Yeah.
so everybody knows everybody out there, Lynn is a great artist.
Mhm.
You know, Sacramento, and we have a lot of good artists out there, great artists out there. Shy, right? But there is. So we're going to do a lot of. We're going to show some of Lynn's artwork today too, and some of the artists that you're working with as well, or for the Bridge District.
Yeah. So
Right?
the neighborhood
Okay.
is the Bridge District. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get something wrong. So we have. Yeah. See,
Yes.
Yeah, that's
that's right.
awesome.
So yes, and then Brad said, "Hey
Hey,
kids,
Brad.
Brad is here." Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
it
and I
was a
saw.
good event. Thanks for coming, Chris.
Aw.
We're gonna do more
Yeah,
of them. That was just the first.
yeah, and like I said, there's a lot of stuff that's going on. That's not going on actually out there. So it'll be nice to be able to see. And I mean, well, the funny part is like now I really feel like okay, well, we're gonna start working on things together, and
Yeah.
so this is gonna be over soon. I mean, of course, it's gonna take a little bit, and we're probably gonna get some news that we probably don't want to hear, but at least we'll be um, moving forward with this. And I think that really makes me happy. It makes me like, okay, you know, I can see that light now. Um,
Yeah.
the light was muffled back then, but you know, and all these art events and you know whatever we can do, everybody, at least people that I know, really stepped up and figured out some creative ways to you know, like that event too was very COVID safe, and everybody respected each other, and that was
Mhm.
awesome. So
It felt
yeah,
really good. I mean, the art we talked about being 6 feet apart, but it was really about 20 feet apart. And
Yeah.
yeah.
there was a bunch of different vendors, and there was music. DJ Shar was out there, and Solomon's
Yeah.
Deli was out there. And
It's great.
I was starstruck because Propagate was out there.
Fun.
And it just, there were so many. That's really the last event and public event that I've been to this entire time since COVID started. So I just felt really lucky.
And Lynn basically sold out of her art.
Yeah,
So
that was great.
Yeah.
We don't know if that was because I'm that I think people again were very excited to have art.
But also too,
out.
she came on the show before that too. Remember we featured you on that show?
Yeah, the night before, I think, right?
Yeah.
Ruby,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
It was
And it was very
windy. Of you too, and I appreciate it so much. All the support.
I remember the wind. Remember that? We're catching the art pieces.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was awesome too. So, you know, Mother Nature's like, hey, don't forget me. I'm here too. So,
Yeah.
I'm here to knock all of your paintings on the ground.
yeah, throw you off. Yeah. You handle that very well, by the way.
You were good.
Yeah. So, so Sarah, so you do, you know, I know that I've seen you around in a lot of the, you know, we're talking about where did we actually meet. And a lot of times, you know, I think people, you know, we see each other. There's a lot of people that I see all the time,
Mhm.
and yeah, I talk right now a lot on this forum, but usually I'm a wallflower, and I don't really talk to people because I get scared. You know, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, I have to get that. I find that exit route. So I'm like, where is the less amount of people, and I got to leave now. But,
I need a little bit of that.
yeah. So, I'm notorious for like sneaking out the back, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I've seen you at a lot of art events, and and I'll just, you know, we can't find out the exact moment we met, but that's okay, right? So and you do go to a lot of art events. You do help, you know. Is there anything coming up that we should know about, or you know, or how did you get into this? You know,
Well, when I was you know, earlier on in my career, I worked for a local marketing agency where the owner really encouraged us to get involved with nonprofits. And so you know, I'm glad she did, because it sort of pushed me to find where I wanted to give back. And so you know, I knew Liv personally and the work that she did, and always admired that. And a lot of my friends in Sacramento now, and especially at that time, were local artists that were, you know, working on their craft, whether they were musicians or visual artists. And so I got involved with the Verge, and I'm still, you know, very involved with them and what they do. And they're a local arts organization that provides resources for emerging and career artists. And they also show some of the best shows, I think, in the area. And they have lots of classes as well. So if you don't know about the Verge, you should definitely check it out. but through that, I guess I got maybe more connected. But even before that, I think that it was just the friends, having local friends that were artists. And I was always their number one super fan.
Well, I love the Halloween shows. Those are my
Yeah,
favorite.
yeah. I've never had the nerve to participate. I've been asked a couple times through some friends to be like a backup, person, and I don't have the courage.
What?
I think you should do it, Sarah.
Yeah.
One of my best friends
Emma,
in the world, Jerry. Does
you heard it here.
It's
She's
a
found the next person to ask. She's going to do it. So.
Oh boy.
yes, it's a yes. It's a yes here.
Yeah, that's right.
You're ready.
Well, we won't keep it at that though. But yeah. Chris says hello. Sorry, I'm late. That's okay, Chris. Yeah, I know you're always here, so it's nice to see you again too, Chris, on there. So.
Hi, Chris.
Chris is another cool guy. Well, cool person. He has a podcast. If you can put up your podcast name up there, Chris, that'd be great. And the other Chris, Macias, has to come back on. Chris was already. Both Chris's were guests too on the show, so it's always a nice community that we have out here, and so I'm happy to have people out here and just hang out and talk and on a Friday night. What else what else we're gonna do? But it's nice to have all really good energy. That's what I love. So,
Sarah, do you know Chris Macias?
Not very well. I feel like we've been introduced. We've been in the same places at the same time, but and I think we have lots of mutual friends. But
I'm sure you do. He's a wonderful person with an awesome wife named Rebecca, and his son is a shredding metal guitarist, Diego, and a beautiful daughter named Minka. And he's a really incredible author. So I always like when he comes on here and talks about his books because he's written 2 really, really amazing books.
That's awesome.
And he's been our friend forever. So.
Yeah, and he's going to come back to finish the second part of his time here on Cali Cocktail Hour. Sarah, I'm going to ask all the guests, not all of them, but what is your love language? We're going to put this up for you so we know how to talk to you and how to...
Yeah, the thing is, I don't understand that question because I don't understand if it's what makes me happy or how I like to make other people happy.
It's what makes you happy.
What makes you happy. And
Here we
there's
go.
love languages for your kid. Oh, I'm excited. Ruben,
There you
never
go.
asked me mine.
Well, we are now. Everybody out there, what is your love language? Take a look. Because, it's actually a good way, even for to get to talk to your friends that way too. Because, yeah.
So my love language of how I like, which is not the question you're asking me, but how I like to show my love to others is to give gifts. I love giving gifts. Nothing makes me happier. Whether that's like food, like cooking for someone or like just doing something. But I don't feel that way in terms of receiving gifts.
Yes. So what is yours?
I think it sounds silly, but I think it might be words of affirmation. I've thought about this a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that I really like to be seen. And I try to think about the times where, my husband and I have, fights or where I get discouraged at work. And it's usually because I'm feeling like I'm not being seen or appreciated. So I guess that's what I need.
Yeah. And I think that's, kind of the point of what do we need or, what do you need in that too? I mean, and it goes back, vice versa too. Just because, you it's funny 'cause I saw the author on Oprah, and I do watch Oprah a lot. So her Super Soul Sundays conversations. But, one guy was talking about how he he was upset with his wife because he was trying to give her a massage and she would flinch all the time and, and all this stuff. And and then, they explained to him hey, look, just because you like that doesn't mean your wife likes that. And his wife acts of service.
Yeah.
So, and, it was acts of service and it was words of affirmation. He's like, so you really have to look. And obviously there's other ways of communication too, but I also found a way with my girlfriend, who's been a long time girlfriend, is that, number one and number two, you're good. Right. And then, but communication is awesome too. And, so I've learned mine and communication like that. So what would be your number two?
Maybe acts of service. It sounds so bad. Like, tell me how awesome I am and do things for me. And that's my love language.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I really believe in this book, and I actually made my kids. There's a book for kids, and it's a very, very quick test. And my son is now 17, and I think I had him take it when he was 4. And then my daughter took it, I believe, when she was 8, and then retook it again at 21, and it was the same thing. So
interesting.
Normally it feels like a goofy, it sounds kind of goofy, but it's really not when you look at it. Because
I don't.
I'm not saying I need you to vacuum and I'll love you.
Right.
That's
well,
really
I don't think it's. I wasn't saying that it's goofy. I'm just saying that my 2 top love language feel kind of like goofy because they're like,
no,
all about me.
Yeah. But also, you seem to be a very giving person, so that's probably why too.
Yeah.
And Lynn, what's yours?
So I have read this book. I'll tell you, I am acts of service. That makes me feel when someone takes something off my plate, it really is very, very meaningful to me. I think because I was at the height of my career when my kids were toddlers, and it was really, really such a juggling act. And, Sarah, I definitely where you're at now, when someone would say, oh, I'll pick them up, or I've got that really felt very fulfilling to me.
Yeah.
And what is number 2?
So Phoenix, my son, is quality time. My daughter is words of affirmation. And my husband is physical touch.
See?
So
mine would be,
I have really delved into this because I think I believe in it. I do.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to throw guys under the bus, but I think guys really need to read this. It would help a lot. I mean, I don't mean to, but mine is quality time and physical touch, right? But and everybody out there, if you have a number 1 and number 2, it'd be great if you write it down too. So we are interested in what is your love language out there too. But I do think it helps a lot. I do think emotional languages help a lot. Where we have more than just I'm not feeling good today. Or because as when your partner's just in a space where you got to give him or her a little space. But when someone's like, oh, I don't feel well today, and then you kind of like, is it me, right? And then you do more things to annoy them, instead of giving them space. But yeah, but and so I've been reading a book about emotional languages. So the more you expand your emotional language, the better you are to explain to that person, like, hey, just instead of just say, hey, just leave me alone, I'll deal with it myself. You kind of give them more of an understanding why they need to leave you alone, and you're like, oh, okay, and it worked for me because I'm like, I kept going back, are you okay? Is it me? Did I do something? No, because I go through a lot of times when I go through, I wouldn't say slight depressions, but more melancholy days. Where I'm like, and that's kind of that's, I think a lot of people do go through those times too. So, but so. But it's curious to see. I love listening to what people what their love languages. I can talk to them. I'm like, oh, your hair is so nice.
Are you listening to my dog? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've always fallen asleep on them.
Her up in a minute. It is
no, it's okay. It's okay.
I think I'm gonna bring her on camera for a minute, just for a quick
Chris,
little
do it.
And Chris said, "Thank you. The Messias is like you, Lynn, or love you."
I love that family so much.
Yeah. So Sarah, right now you are working with a couple artists right now too, right? Hold on.
Well,
speaking of love languages,
let's take a minute for coleslaw.
Yeah.
Let's take a minute here because we got to really, really refocus our snoring here for a minute.
She wanted to be heard. Well, no, I was pretty good. I was feeling it. I've been on Twitch, listening to ASMR, so I'm like, that's for free right there.
It was hitting an 11, so we just had to wake up for a second here. That's
right. This is coleslaw.
Look at her. Just for a hot second. Okay. Sorry. We had to wake her up for a minute.
She looks hella goth.
She's very goth. She's my little goth baby. Sisters of Mercy.
Nice.
Yes.
So Sarah, you're working with different artists right now too, right? And,
Yeah, well, so one of the perks of my job is that I get to help curate and bring art into the spaces that we build. So the most recent project we did was The Block, which is an apartment complex in right next door to Lynn's house in the Verge
Beautiful.
Board. And we had a local artist named Sarah Golden. We commissioned this piece right here for the lobby. I've always loved her work, and the brand and kind of the vibe of this building it felt perfect for her. Her color, the colors that she uses really like reflected the feeling that we were creating. So she was game and did a commissioned piece for us. So this is in the lobby. And then we have 4 other pieces of hers that are in the other. So this is the main lobby. And then there's 2 other floors, and there's 2 others on each floor. So I love that. I love that there's a local art connection. And we try, I mean, we do fold local art into every project that we build, which I'm proud of, and it wasn't something that I brought to the table. It was something that, my boss is really passionate about art as well. So it's nice to be able to be on a team that prioritizes that.
and that is hashtag Sarah Golden Art.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's wonderful. So yeah, check her out if you like what you see there.
I do. I love the colors, and I love how playful and modern, and
Yeah.
it's just beautiful. And I've seen it live in the space, and it just feels really good. Makes me happy.
And what I like about her stuff too is she has prints that are, more affordable, that are, beautiful, like fun, really, vibrant and bold, like plant, playful plant images. And, one thing that I personally feel really passionate about is breaking down the intimidation of buying art. And a lot of that has to do with, how we buy art and the price points. And so I think it's really important when artists offer, a variety of price points for people to purchase art.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I love it,
Yeah.
And who else do we have up there too?
So it's the same piece.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's the same piece. That one's just in her studio. She was
I
sending
see.
that one. It hadn't been stretched yet, so you can see it was like she was sending it for approval. And then it was that's it on the right in the lobby space. And it's cool because the lobby is an outdoor. It's like an exposed lobby, so it's not completely outdoor, but it is exposed to the elements. So it's just kind of fun to have like a canvas, painting in a outdoor lobby space.
Yeah, awesome. And who else you working with too on the project, or is it?
So that one, we have in the model unit, we have Haley Titus, who's another local artist. I don't have an image of the piece, but if you are curious, if you go to the Block's Instagram page, there's a picture of it, I think, on there, or if not, I'll post one. But it's a really beautiful piece as well, and she does some fun stuff. And she's cool.
And Uli said, looks nice. And Alvaro's here. Hello, Alvaro. How you doing?
Alvaro.
Yeah. I'm sure Alvaro's happy that Trump's gone. So I think most people here. I'm sorry. I'll stop saying the name because it's like Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah, kind of is.
Yeah, so let's not do that. So, and who else we have?
So another
go
project
ahead.
that we did was the Foundry, which is another apartment in the apartment building in the same neighborhood. We commissioned Lily Therens to do a mural piece that's like, so this is kind of it's like a map it's like a playful illustrative map of the neighborhood. So if you're familiar with the barn, that's what you see right there in the middle. And that's the river that's, closest to the bottom of the painting. And you see the pier on there and people practicing yoga. And this is just a fun one because there's so many little Easter eggs. Like our former mayor, who we love, Christopher Cabalden, is on top of the Foundry building, which is that building towards the left by the freeway. You can't, you can't see it too closely, but it's him, and he's got his little bow tie on. And then there's Ray and Charles Eames on top of a building closer to the right by the ball field. There's the Sutter Park ball field. And Ray and Charles Eames are on a motorcycle on top of a building. So it's just super fun. There's so many fun little things. And she was just perfect. She's, you might know her stuff. She did the mural at Urban Roots, and she does a lot of work with them on their design for their cans. And she's just incredible. And it was a fun project to sit down with her and sort of map out the space and tell her all of the things that are, that we love about living on the river, and, what's, the attributes of the neighborhood. And then she just, nailed it with this awesome illustration. And painting it took a long time, and she engaged Jeremy Stanger, who's also a local muralist, who I feel like is everywhere. And together they did it. They knocked it out, and it took so long. And it was, I'm sure that they have nightmares about that, just because it's so detailed.
It was worth it.
But
every minute invested. It's so really beautiful.
Yeah, it's fun.
Right on. And then the next one is Melissa, right?
Yes, and then the other artist that we did a special piece with is for another apartment complex, 980 Central, in the same neighborhood. And I love her stuff. I love her. Her and her sister are like the most darling gals around town. I mean, I miss everybody right now, but they're two people that I miss just running into because they're just so wonderful. Anyway, so she did this piece that was, in her style, but also a love letter to Sacramento and West Sacramento and the Bridge District in that area. So you'll see little Easter eggs in this one too. Like you've got the Tower Bridge, and you have, the crest and beers and the barn. And just things that we love, that cake, it's Freeport. Art picks of local places have big connect value. I agree. And it just really, like, not everyone is going to see it and notice that, but that for that moment where somebody does, I think it's so special and it's so worth it. And even that black and white pattern that you see is the tile that is on the courtyard of that building. So it's just like these, again, I just think she nailed it. I love it.
Me too. Beautiful.
Right on. Yeah, it is beautiful.
I love the colors too.
So these three pieces are, unfortunately, I mean, you can see the Foundry one because it's in a glass, like it's behind glass. So you can't, all of the buildings are locked off. So you can't just walk in and see it. So that part kind of, is unfortunate. So we try to share it through social media and by talking about it and showing these pieces where we can, but it is something that's special for the residents. It's the art that belongs in their homes, in the shared spaces. But another thing about the neighborhood is that we have a lot of public art. So we have Subtile, which is that shiny mirrored piece that's on the Riverwalk, and it sort of blends in with the trees. And because it's mirrored, it sort of takes in whatever is around it. So it pulls like, Ruben, have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you have to check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Instagram loves it.
You have, Ruben.
I haven't been anywhere. I haven't been anywhere. No, not at all. Are you calling me out?
You need to do a river walk and check that out. And then,
oh yes, okay. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's Federico Diaz. He's from the Czech Republic, and it's an awesome piece. The city of West Sacramento was, it was their project, and I just feel so lucky to be able to walk to that. And then we have two Kanekos, Juan Kaneko. We have two giant sculptures from his project, the Dongo project, and one is a black and white, like really striking piece on the Riverwalk as well. And then it has a sister piece in Garden Park. And it's interesting because the Garden Park one, I didn't love it at first. I really was attached to the one on the river. And then, after living in the neighborhood and sitting with that piece for so long, I love it. It's really, really grown on me. And then we have West, which is on the pier, and it lights up at night. So if you're on the Sacramento side, and you're looking towards us, towards West Sac, you see it, it's like these giant letters that say West, and it rotates. And the artist for that is Janet Zwig, and she's from Brooklyn.
Right on. Well, I think we need to do a show on what's around town, right?
Yeah,
Around
seriously,
town. People,
it's funny.
I don't think anybody has really explained the whole thing. And Brad said the twins are brilliant.
They are.
And yeah, Victor said I used to enjoy eating pizza at a place that had a panoramic view of art picks in the place, but I think he is
Oh yeah.
Luigi's. Yeah.
Compass and B.
I think it was L. Yeah. So, but but like you said, Easter eggs, right? They always will click with somebody, right?
Yeah.
They always will click with somebody, and it always will get somebody, and that's what art does. Art has a language that it's not a spoken language, but it's more emotional language, right? So, but that's great. That's awesome.
Right, and public art is so important because galleries are intimidating, museums are intimidating. Not everybody goes or can go, or can afford to go and view art in that way. So public art's so important because it's just there for everyone. So
yeah.
I would comfortably say.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Ruben. I was just going to say that I would comfortably say I've seen in the last 365 days that I've seen someone taking a photo in front of Subtile 350 of those days.
Yeah, totally.
It's just so beautiful to have that outside. It's so gorgeous.
Yeah,
and I think people like having that.
And they do. I think like you said, there's, during the inaugural, right? Who was the biggest star of the inauguration? Right, it was an artist, right? Poet, right? Amanda Gorman. Like, yeah, and she said something that no one else could say. You're like watching, you're like, whoa, And so art is a very beautiful, in any kind of language, and also those different languages too.
Yeah.
And speaking of artists, we're gonna talk to Lynn, and here you go. See. Ooh. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Mike, you got to come back out, and Mike has a really good mezcal brand. It's called Neta. I know that I say this all the time, but mezcal is an art. Mezcal is done by the hands, and the blood and the sweat, and Mike does a great job at giving back to communities there, and they're great artists in Oaxaca, and so he's always up here. I'm glad you're here, Mike. I am. So I've had some good times with his company too, and I mean his friends, I should say, over there too. And Melissa, hey Melissa, how you doing? Melissa Pinnell's here too, and Melissa has she's also the original co-host, and / she has a book out. So Melissa, you should put your.
Amazing.
Yes, she is amazing. She's awesome. If you could put your link on your book too, and she has a book. Let me see if I have. Sorry. If I have that still there.
Sarah, yes. You will really, really appreciate her book.
Sorry.
And
yeah.
It says mothers and daughters, but I really think it's for mothers and sons and mothers and their children overall. It's such a beautiful, beautiful, just such a nice book and concept.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, and it is. It's awesome. So, and I know that she's working on different variations of the book too, to include everybody too. And Mike said, "Thank you, brother." Yes, of course. And Alvaro says, "Very cool people." So, yeah, and we, like I said, we appreciate you coming out and hanging out with us on the Friday night.
Totally.
We're gonna go to the quote of the week, and because it gives me time to re-pour my glass of wine. It's only 18 seconds, but we'll come back and we're gonna turn the table and speak to Lynn about her art coming up. So, Sarah, you are gonna become the co-host and ask questions to Lynn.
Oh, fun!
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were doing this, Ruby.
what I said? Yeah. Things change. Remember, I said there is no script.
Yes.
And Melissa said, "You want to read that, Lynn? Because yes, go ahead. Oh, can you read that?"
Oh yeah. Thank you, Lynn and Ruben, for that kind intro. Happy to be here and see your faces.
Yeah.
From Melissa Pinnell.
So, and I do that because I'm a little bit dyslexic. I would say a little bit, but I am dyslexic, so I will put the words around. So, in fact, for school, I wish I would have learned I was dyslexic. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
To learn. I mean, back then, you're like, right. Yeah. So, anyways, yes. So read that. We'll go in there. We'll be right back. It's just going to be 20 seconds, but it is a quote that I thought it was very beautiful. And to all everybody out there, we love you. If you just come out for one thing, to hear that we love you, we do love you, and we are here for you no matter what happens. So if you need to talk afterwards, I will be up for a long time. That's what I usually do. So, and that's what, we'll be here. So we're going to play this, and we'll be right back. Pour your wine, everybody out there. Thank you for coming. Y todos allí que si quieren, si me dan mezcal, está bien también. Okay, we'll go. All right, that was quick. That was
20 seconds.
Yeah, I wanted to get you going. So you gotta get the blood pumping. But and what I love about that quote is because you do feel with your heart. I do feel like a lot of us are empath, right? And we just don't know. I don't know how to turn it off myself. So I've been trying to learn how to turn it off. But I also realize that I am going to care for people no matter what happens. So this is what I have to deal with. And I know that a lot of people out there are, especially people that I know, really care about other people out there. So, much love to everybody. And we're going to give you this for one quick second, just so you know how much we do. And there you go. Mucho amor for everybody. Lots of love to everybody. So that should come with. Yeah. So, and we also have Kuan Yin, who is the goddess of compassion. So, you're actually, Sarah, you're in between. So you're going to be very... You got the compassion.
Sandwiched by love.
Taken care of tonight.
So we're going to switch you two, and you will become the co-host.
Ooh,
yeah.
Ruby.
So, I know, I got tricks now. So trust me, I was here all day, like, what am I going to do? Whatever. And without having, I had to challenge myself to be improvision, so to speak. So, but also, whatever. So, here we go. Lynn, and I'll give you the first shot, Sarah.
Okay.
You and I are both in the
Okay, so
you are the host now.
Okay, Lynn.
Yes, Sarah.
I think that I'll just start by saying that Lynn might be my favorite person that I've met in 2020. So, okay, that doesn't really fit, but I just wanted to put that out there because she's so wonderful, and if you don't know her, you should.
You got Corona, and you have Lynn. I'm like, I'll pick Lynn.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Okay, so tell me about. Tell me you are also a musician, and you are a visual artist, and so tell me about how those two interact or inspired each other. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I feel like I just broke out in a fever because Ruben really popped this.
Well,
he really turned this.
But I'm gonna put some of your art up so you can talk about it at the meantime. So
well, I'm here for it.
Yes.
So,
all right.
Music to me is my whole life. I worked in the music business for 25 years, and I love music. It makes the world go round, and it comes before art.
Well, it is art
for me. Yeah. It is art, but I mean, it comes to me before painting because every painting I do is inspired by a song or a playlist or music. So everything I do, so on the left-hand side, you see a lot of colors, but for me, that looks like vinyl. And on the right, there's that first painting, and all these paintings, I'm lucky to say, have found really good homes. But that one painting was called Bulldozer, and that's based off a Soundgarden song that they utilize that word. And everything I do is just because of music. So that is what inspires me and makes me happy. And behind every painting is for sure a song or a playlist.
Yeah, and so it's funny, we were talking about this for Lynn and I were both musicians, right? Yeah, right. I was electronic musician, if you want to call that a musician, but a creator of many pixels. And it's interesting that you asked that question because it is just transferring different kinds of energy from one to the other, right? And and everybody will ask me like, "Who's your favorite artist? Who's your blah blah blah?" And I'm all Prince and Bauhaus. I'm like, I have goth and I have Prince, right? Because, and that's my artist. That's my. I'd never studied any kind of art before or any artist at all, or go to galleries to see artists. So I never had that that kind of stuff. But that's why when we talk about that too, it is what you see, and that's you're basically making art to what you hear in sound too. That's what I love about Lynn's artwork too. So the left is the vinyl.
Thank you, Melissa. It's really hard for me to claim musician because when I started singing in my band, honestly, my goal was to not die and not be in a band. So I can play a little guitar, I can play a couple chords, but I ended up meeting my best friends in life, and we talk about being a moi, which is a Japanese family of being together and supporting each other till death do us part. So we just my band was called The Skirts, and we just created beyond, it was friendship beyond anything. I mean, we're such a family. So it was a great time in my life, and we're still all really close friends from the first rendition of The Skirts to the second. So yeah,
you have perfect timing because Mike said what band?
It was a very, very small local band called The Skirts, but best friends, and it's great. Yeah. Danella's so beautiful and such an awesome person, and I read all of her posts on Facebook and feel so inspired by her, by the way.
Yeah, she is awesome too.
Yes.
And that's what, like I said, that's what I love about, this kind of strange virtual community is I see people. I mean, I met someone yesterday, and it was Heather, right? Heather, and we've been going back and forth on Facebook, and she comes to see the show, and and all this stuff. And I was at my studio, and she's like, "Ruben?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Heather." I'm like, "Oh my God, we have both had masks on." I was like,
we're such good friends.
Really, I was like, "Hi," I was like, "Oh my God," and I keep thinking like I've never seen her before, and she's like, "I know we never met before, but we did." I mean, we have there's a really good connection here of people that I've never met before, and Sarah, this is the first time we've had a conversation. Well, I mean, we did have a conversation on the phone before, but I mean, I have conversations with everybody on here, and I'm like, oh, and I just feel like I know everybody. It's weird because when it actually the veil comes off, it's going to be like, oh, hi, how you doing? So
yeah. Well, and I think it's so interesting too because you were saying that like you go to events, but you're you're just looking for your exit. But it's so what a cool thing that this there's so many like positives that have come out of this whole situation, and one is that you found like a comfort where you get to have these conversations and really get intimate with people. We may have never had this conversation, so I just think that's really neat.
Yeah, I know. No one's staring at me, so I'm good. I always just think like, they're all, "Hey, Ruben, will you come speak at our school?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, I feel like a rotisserie chicken with lights on me.
Right.
My first couple of bands, I always had a mask on. I was dressed up in a costume. I was like, I can't do it. I puke. And then Danielle said, "That's so kind," right?
It's true.
Melissa said, "Such a trip to meet internet friends for real life." That's true. That is our life right now. So it's reversed. Great memories of live music. Yeah. There is one. Did you ever play the Boardwalk, Lynn?
Oh, the Boardwalk. I forgot about.
I played the Boardwalk many, 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 many times.
Yeah.
In fact, I had my all-time classic comment said to me. I had someone come up. So our band has been a band for 20. Oh my goodness. So Violet's 21. So 23, 24 years. And I had a guy come up to me at the Boardwalk, and he said, "You know what? I like you so much. You're so much better than the other singer. Oh my gosh, you're better. She was horrible." And I thought, I'm the only singer they've ever So that was my Boardwalk story. He's like, "Oh my gosh, you're so much better than her. She's horrible. So glad she was replaced." I'm like, yeah. Yes.
Well, I guess that means you improved in his book.
I did. I'm like, yeah.
You're so much better than the one that played 2 weeks ago, because she was
that horrible one. Yes.
So Mike said great memories in live music, Sacramento. I didn't know that you were in around Sac, Mike. That's awesome to know. Zara is here. Awesome.
Hi, Zara.
Zara's an awesome person too.
Yeah.
We have Serge all the way from Chicago. ¿Cómo estás, Serge? And my hermano de Zacatecas. I do look like rotisserie chicken. See? I'm gonna say hello starting at you right now. Hello staring. Yeah, exactly. Of course, Jesse's staring at me.
Jesse.
But we know that's true. Yeah.
There's no exit.
I can't wait to see, Chris. We hung out for a little bit at Lynn's show, right? A little bit. Victor says, you are the big homie, Ruben. They need to pay you, dude. Natural Geographic on telling us what. Yeah, there you go. See? I love playing that place. See, Mike, what band were you in? Because, we used to play, what was that club? Well, it was a strip club, and then it was a club after that. It was in Citrus Heights. And back then it was downtown, and I was playing in Goth Squad too, and we were like a goth rock band, and it was downtown versus the suburbs. It was always downtown versus suburbs. It was funny, it's like, you guys suck, I was like, it was. So anyways, and Zara loves us all, and then hella spicy chicken. That's right. So, yeah. And, and so Lynn, once again, too, I have seen you transform into an artist and, come into your own, too. And I was so happy to see you sell that many, not that that's what it's about. But we talked about passion and what we want to do. And, we do want to put out love, right? And I know that we had this conversation about, success versus what we want to do, right? There's a fine line, and I know that I just do it because I want to do it. I love doing it, and I'm horrible at promoting myself, but or showing artwork out there. I'm really shy about. Well, I won't do that because people will call me out on that. It's you're not shy now. But I'm very happy to see, what you've done and how you became that. You got your studio, and it's so nice for me to see that. And I'm very happy and humbled by you.
Ruben, I appreciate your support so much. You've been, you've really, really supported me, and I'm so grateful. And to hear you call me an artist feels crazy, but you know what? In 2021, I'm just gonna go with it because I'm just ready to embrace anything and anything positive, and I'm just so grateful for both of your help, honestly, really. And if I sell a piece, that feels good, but if someone feels they like my art, that makes me very happy. That's pretty much everything. So It was a glorious day.
It was an awesome day.
Matt had to leave though early that day. But
and we will put that down.
Pardon?
Matt? I said I already marked that down.
Yeah. Well, Matt had to leave early that day.
So, and I'm going to put some pictures up here, but we talked about you really have to look at the it's the texture. So you got to go see it Lynn's studio because it's really, we talk about taking pictures of art and all this stuff, but actually it's the textures that we also talk about of what you really see. And so I know we had that discussion today, but I'm going to pull these up. And these are ones that you sent me, so I don't think I've seen this one before. So can you tell us a little bit about them? There's 3 of them, so.
Yeah, well, what's hard for me is capturing texture, and it's a learning process for me. And so when I look at these, they look a little bit flat, but I use acrylic and concrete. And so all of these are very, very highly textured. So it's a learning process for me to be able to take photos that are somewhat just representative of what I've done. And the photos that are, the one on the left is, I'm lucky enough to say Christine Galindo has put that in her beautiful aesthetics studio.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and these other two are right now, they're up. I have 20 pieces right now at Maverick Studio, which is a hair salon on 20th and I Street. And they've been gracious enough. You know, it's interesting. We put up 20 or 25 pieces and they immediately closed. So I was so grateful for them to display my art. But then, you know, the hardships of hair salons has just been outrageous. So they're currently up right now. I don't want to say they're 3D. They're certainly not. But the concrete aspect and the texture of them, I'm still very much learning the process of capturing that in a photo.
Yeah. And Melissa said you are an artist.
Thank you, Melissa.
And you get two hearts. And
I
Mike
want to
says
give
I
her
love
10. Thank you,
Mike says
Mike.
I love the pieces, and
Thank
Matt,
you.
I love the piece that I got. You sold it 8 times.
That's a true story from that day.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Mike wanted to know if you use a palette light for texture.
So I use various tools. I mostly use I use a lot of traditional concrete tools that you would use to put in a sidewalk, but I do use a palette knife very, very often for these as well. I use a lot of wood blocks. I use way more tools from the hardware store than I do from the art store, if you will. Lots of concrete tools.
Yeah. Well, I remember you saying something today to me, I'm using this right now. I forgot what you're using.
I'm always looking for different tools to kind of manipulate the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
Did I show these ones already? No.
I'm not sure if you did.
No, I didn't.
I think you did.
On the right,
they're worth looking at again.
I was trying to recreate a birch tree out of concrete on the right.
Yeah,
so,
that's cool.
My parents, where I grew up, my parents are both, unfortunately, they've both passed away, but where I grew up, we had a lot of birch trees, and it was a really fun memory because I just always was very drawn to them, and I just tried to recreate it through concrete. So that's why that piece was a little bit meaningful to me, and that's at Maverick right now.
So, and Mike says girlfriend's, so I'm grabbing info from her. Yeah.
Awesome.
And yeah, so
Ashley,
she is into plants, I think. So I mean,
Great.
that's what she does. I don't know. I forgot what the actual term for it. Usually, I'm not very good with titles, so that's why I'll say she's a very awesome person. But she does something with. I known Ashley for a long time too. A lot of going around and going to open mics and stuff like that, which I miss a lot too. So, but yeah, I love what you said. You try to make a birch tree, right? And that kind of energy goes into what you're trying to make, and no one else may know that but you, right? And I think that's what the beautiful part is, that when someone actually emotes to that or grabs onto that and like, I love that piece, I don't know why, right? And I think that's for me as an artist, it's like when it's one person, that's probably why I'm like, I always go, oh no, here, you can keep it, take it with you, because it's hard to find that one person that really loves it or emotes, that you're putting that out to. So like I said, I just think it's awesome. I love watching the process myself too. So like I said, I'm very honored to know you, Lynn, because we've known each other for a long time.
Right back at you. Yeah. And Sarah, thank you.
I mean, I don't have a snoring dog, but
But you can. You'll get there.
Yeah. So let's see. We've all had your experience with paint. What kind of paint have you found works the best?
So, I mainly paint in acrylic. I use some. I do a little bit of mixed media. I do some acrylic inks, but mainly I just very much use Liquid-Tex traditional acrylics. But my concrete I buy is the same concrete you would patch your sidewalk with. And then I add the colors to the concrete. And our friend Ruben, our mutual friend Wayne, who did some concrete work in his life. He gave me some great bags of concrete, and I mixed it up with the paint, and it's just a great texture.
Oh, right on. And then Victor says, curious which artists each artist use. So that's awesome, because it is true. Like what people are doing is different. Just like music and art's the same one too. And I want to go back to Mike. Mike, maybe we can have you guys come on the show one time, because we try to reach out for wherever we can too. So I love having the artist night, because too, it's we have different nights on Cali Cocktail Hour. So it is a very refreshing. Well, it's not. It's always, everything's refreshing to me. So I was going to say that too. So I always say everything's awesome too. I'm like, it's awesome. It's great. But I appreciate Sarah coming up on here, and there's no script, so I do flip it sometimes, and just keep it fresh in there. So and Lynn, let's go to I think I had one more, but let me see. Did I show the? Because I think I had 6. Let me see. I showed that one already, right? No.
I think so. Yes.
Yes. This one?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so that's 8. Okay, well, I showed them all. So, but yeah, and like I said, and it's very. What I love about it too, like I said, we talked about, is the texture too, is watching it and seeing the process of how you do it, and it's good to see how you, what your mind is going into. Like when I'm doing a piece of artwork, it really depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing something that's, Mexican, I will actually play Mexican music behind me. Really, I mean, like if I'm doing something that, because I do pieces that are, they're photographs when I go travel to Mexico, and then I manipulate them, and then I put them on tile, but I do need to listen to certain music when I'm doing it. So a lot of times I'll listen to ambient music, which like my electronic roots, because I don't want to hear any words, and in doing that too. So I always like listening to what other people have to do, so or have, so yeah. Anyways, so guess what time it is?
Is it time to show the kitty before you leave? Before
no,
we
go? We have a little more time, but yes, it is time for show the kitty.
It's kitty time.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So I asked Lynn. I think Melissa and I, Melissa and I one time I used to go to the neighborhood and take pictures of like missing animals. Like there's a cat missing, and there was like so I take a picture of it, showed on the thing, and we did show a picture one time, and I really thought this cat was never going to come back, and it did. It was 12 years old. I forgot what it was, but Melissa texted me, "Hey, I think they found the cat." And we're like, "Yes, that was us,"
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, what we decided to do too, and Lynn, tell us what you do with the. I know you volunteer with the shelter too sometimes too, right?
I haven't done it for a long time since COVID, because we haven't been allowed to. But every Tuesday, my friend Tom and I from the Knockoffs, we would do doggy day out and take out the dogs that were most in need, that needed a break from Front Street shelter. And we would just take them out for 2 hours. We've taken them to the beach. We've taken them to Starbucks to get a puppuccino. We've just kind of tried to give them some normalcy, because a lot of the dogs are highly stressed in the shelter, and they're very sweet dogs, but they don't really show themselves as a prospective pet, because they're so stressed in the shelter. They just can't really display who they are. So it's just giving them a 2-hour break, and it's a really great program. Anyone can do it. You just go in and you register for Doggy Day Out. It's on hiatus right now, but if you have 2 hours out of your day, it's just a really great program. It's been really fulfilling for me and my friend Tom, and sometimes his friend Bailey, and now my friend. But it's a great program through Front Street to get the dogs out. And
today you wanted to display to get the cats out, right? Which could be a song.
I wanted to highlight a kitty who is 9 years old and is in foster care, but someone from the community anonymously has sponsored this cat's adoption. And it's a little bit harder to get the animals out that are seniors. And so I just wanted to ask Ruben to graciously show this kitty. And maybe someone wants to give this kitty a second chance and a second great half of their life.
So
Kitties can go to 20, 22. So I believe this kitty's name is Kanushka. Let's take a look.
Let's bring him up here. Yeah. Kanushka.
Yeah.
Koshka.
So let's see. I am Kanushka. I am a neutered male, a tabby with a great domestic short hair. Sheltered staff think I'm about 8 years old. So he's an 8, right?
8.
Yeah. Yeah.
How dare I?
I know. Calling him. I mean, he's
Calling
giving you
him
that
that.
look.
But it's
He's
a
giving you the
beautiful-
look right now.
I know. I know.
So he's available for adoption. If you're interested in meeting me at come with animal support at cityofsacramento.org, right? And you're right, he does have he's already paid for, right?
He's paid for. His adoption has been sponsored, and he's a beautiful kitty who deserves part 2.
Yeah. So I'm going to try to read this. Be with me. I'm pretty good at that. I'll get this. So I am an 8-year-old sweet cat that comes not from the best situation. He is cute and sweet, but he loves to keep his distance and gets scared easily, especially with new objects and strangers. He doesn't like to be touched for too long, but he does like to be mainly on his terms. That sounds like me.
I was just gonna say, is this a dating app? And
This is a perfect cat for someone who likes companion in the house but doesn't want to be too clingy or touchy-feely. So
Love
just
language.
enjoy-
language is
Yeah.
not physical touch.
Yeah, exactly. What is the kitty's physical? Yeah. So he enjoys company and at a distance too. So he won't wake you up at night or hang out or get between your legs. He'll or he won't jump on you during a keyboard at a Zoom meeting.
Yes.
He is a sweet cat when he's comfortable and he still wants his space and lots of time. He will play at night toys and does looking at all the windows. So yeah. He looks like he's a sweet cat. So anybody out there, who wants to foster a cat, yeah, see?
Or adopt. Adopt.
Yeah,
Looks
sorry.
like he needs his forever home because I believe this information is coming from a foster. That font is very small for me, but he sounds like he needs a home with maybe just him, and he needs someone who's going to be patient with him and warm up to him and give him another great 10 to 12 years.
Yeah, I think he will be a good cat for someone who's who doesn't yeah. I would take him, but Sarah's gone.
I'm getting my
Jared's
computer
like,
cord.
that's it.
My computer's about to fall asleep, so I'm getting my
Oh no, Sarah, no. Anyways, and then yeah. So anyways, anybody out there who needs a cat, who is a very not kind of a independent cat, doesn't need too much, right? But you like your company. Some people do like that, right? They just want to have their own company, they have company, and seeing someone's out there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyways, here's your cat. We have your cat for you. I want to play something for you because Lynn said it was okay, right? So I'm not going to get in trouble, right?
What is it?
Well, you're the one that's. It's going to be your daughter's band. So
Oh, okay.
Destroy
Yes.
Boys.
Yes.
And can you give us some backstory to that too, on that one?
Yeah, sure. My daughter has been in a really great band since she was 16, and they're doing really well. And she's in it with her best friends, and they're just creative and ahead of their time. And I'm not sure what you're about to play, but I think it may be 2 or 3 years old. But
Yeah.
they are just the future, in my opinion. They just have it all.
Yeah, and they've toured too, right? A lot. Before
Pardon?
this, before COVID, they've toured before too.
Oh
Before
yeah,
COVID.
they've toured all over the U.S. and in Europe, and yes, and I think this is a video that Violet directed back in the day, and
Yeah.
they just make me very proud. I'm wearing, hold on, Destroy Boys shirt right now, but it's really nice being able to truly enjoy your child's band, and I just feel so happy and excited for them to just have such a great future ahead of them when COVID is a thing of the past. I can't wait
Yeah.
for them. It makes me very sad that they've had to put their entire career on hold. It's hard.
Yeah. So, and
as one of the many things.
so we will, yes. So we'll play right now, and we'll get to right now.
Love it.
That was awesome.
Rad.
I love them.
Yeah.
So good. That, by the way, was at Sutter Middle School in
Nice.
Sacramento. So, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. See, and you got the shirt on, and everything going on. So we played
Yes.
past and present, and
Oh, that is a
Oh,
great
cool.
gift because
Andrew.
Alexia's songwriting is amazing, and I'm sure he had a very,
Oh,
very
I'm sure.
incredible
I'm sure.
influence.
Yes. And Andrew, yeah, he also has a show called The Great Joy Hunt in the mornings. So I would definitely watch that show too. That's awesome that you did that. That makes me, I love this whole connection. Like I really do. You just never know who's going to who's going to connect with what. So, and so like I said, there's a lot of talent in Sacramento. It's too bad it didn't stay here, and we can harness it somehow. So, because there is a lot that came left too. So, but yeah, so look at this.
Oh, that's awesome. I can't wait to tell her. She's she's such a great lyricist, and she reminds me so much of PJ Harvey, who I idolize and love and respect. But Alexia, to me, feels like she is the new PJ Harvey with her lyrics and her style and her she is not afraid. She's so brave and so cool and just awesome. So, yes.
See, someone's already yeah, she's already So, I mean, I don't know if that was too early of a song to play, but when we improv, you gotta just search for it, right?
You gotta go.
Yeah, and I'm not hearing coleslaw.
That's a whole other story. Yes.
That's a whole different beast. So, yeah. So Sarah, thank you for coming out. We have we have we have a little bit more time, but and we thank everybody out there, and we wish you much love out there. And if you just come here for that, that's what we're here for you. Everybody out there too. Sorry, I'm trying not to say anymore. Usually we cut that out in the edit scene. So, I think I'm gonna get one of those zappers. And then every time I say that, I'll zap
Train
myself.
yourself, yeah.
Yes. So, but Sarah, thank you for coming out, and just willing to, do whatever happens.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
For sure.
There's your new shirt right there.
I love it.
Yeah.
That dude, Andrew, is a cool dude. I haven't seen him in person in a long time.
I
but
can't wait to tell Alexia. I want to take a screenshot of that.
Okay, I'll leave it there for a second.
Do it. Yeah.
Don't move. She'll love that. That's so cool.
Oh, did I do? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Okay.
That one?
No, I'll tell her that part.
Yeah.
Deliver that.
So. Yeah. So, is there anything else coming up with the Verge that we should look out for too? Are they doing any events, or how are they doing out there? Because I know that a lot of different towers are.
Yeah, I mean, we do two big events every year. One is called TV Dinner. That's it's like two major fundraisers. And so that'll happen in May. And then we do an art auction that happens in November. So look out for those. That will happen. Hopefully it'll be in person. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever's safe, we'll do that. But
we'll see at that time.
Yeah. Hopefully things are feeling better. So yeah, connect with them for sure.
So I'm going to switch you now, real quick. Okay. You're back. You're back the guest now again. Okay, Lynn. Now it's time for the gotcha question. So there's a lot of controversy that I do. No.
I do have a question, Sarah. You said TV dinner. What is that?
Okay, TV dinner it's so awesome. It's a fundraiser that it was maybe the first event I went to of Verge before I was on the board. And it was at their new space before they had, and that's not true because I went to events when they were in their old space on S Street. But in their new space, they had, I think it was the first one, and it was, they worked with Michael Tiemann formerly from Mother, an incredible local chef, and he did this play on the TV dinner, but he made a chef's version of a TV dinner. And there's an art auction component, and you buy a ticket, and it's just every year it's a theme, a TV, theme. So like one year it was The Simpsons, and I can't think of the other ones, but there's been so many good ones. And it's always a really, really fun night. And then the art auction is the other fundraiser, and that one is fun too because it's, I personally work on that one very closely, and I'm proud of the fact that we create an event that is not a typical stuffy art auction. We like to say it's not your mama's art auction. It's definitely a party, and you can buy art, and there's art of all prices, so it's not super stuffy, and it's
fun. It was
fun.
not fun for me because I lost my Gail Hart piece in the last 1 second.
So the last one we did that Lynn's talking about, we had to do it virtually. Yeah. Well, yeah, that one was virtual, and that was just considering it was virtual, it was good, but it was tough to do something like that, to sell art in a auction style environment when people aren't there. To buy the art, they're not there for you to liquor them up and get them, and the energy in the room and everything that makes an art auction an art auction. When you take it to Zoom, it just doesn't translate as well. But considering somebody did snatch that piece from Lynn. Lynn was
in the last second.
Yeah.
No, you guys really did a great job of engaging people, and
for sure.
It felt good. I'm sure it feels way better in person, but I'm kidding because I lost the piece I wanted in the last 1 second, but I made up for that. But you did a great job.
Thank you, and I'm proud of what the Verge is doing. And this particular one, this last one, a percentage of the proceeds went to the Black Artist Fund, which I'm really stoked on. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but if not, research it. It's a local arts fund that, Faith McKinney spearheaded along with Maya Wallace and other, awesome women in the community. And it's basically just helping put resources and funding in the hands of Black artists. so I was stoked that was, that we were giving back to that, and that we are, bringing them in. And we had some artists that were part of that were part of the art as well. And so I just think it's important, important work.
Yeah, I do think so. I think everybody's going to help I mean, right now, because everybody's such in a crisis mode, I think it does help with the community, right? We all need to help each other out too, and keep each other in our hearts too.
Totally.
Yeah. So, but and thank you for coming out. And Tessa says thank you for so much energy tonight. Your creations are beautiful, ladies. Great show, Corvo Suave. Am I in that ladies part? I mean,
Yes.
Can I have? Okay,
you
good.
can.
Can I have that?
Please.
Can I have that? Can I have that space a little bit? Space, yeah.
Get in on that.
Why not?
I do have that curl, so.
Yeah.
I was gonna put my lipstick on today, but I was like, well, yeah, I don't want to outshine anybody. No.
I really got wrong,
Yeah.
Sarah's winning.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, and that's great that the Verge is doing some stuff, and it's good to hear what different people are trying to do, because it is hard to do. We talked about this earlier. It's hard to figure out what to do during this time. And,
yeah.
And obviously during these moments that this is where I think artists, we become creative, and we have to move forward and try to figure out what what next medium we're going to go into. So and everybody, we thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you, Lynn, for what do you call it? Showing up, I guess. Letting me flip the switch on you. So much
Thank
love
you
to
for
everybody.
having me.
Lots of hearts to everybody out there, and we thank you for coming. Next week we're going to have Melissa will be co-hosting next week, and we'll also have Colleen Combs. Colleen Craig, sorry. That's a different person. Is gonna, we're gonna show her art next week, and she's been doing some really beautiful stuff during the pandemic, and she sent me pictures, so she's gonna send me some pictures of her artwork that she's doing, and some really beautiful flowers. And we always text back and forth. I'm like, look at this leaf, and these are the flowers that she's doing. So it'll be cool. And Sarah, keep up if you want to, learn this platform. I'm more welcome to teach you, anybody else out there that wants to learn, because I think we all need a voice, and it'll be cool to have people just talk, and so yeah.
Awesome.
I really appreciate it. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. Thank you too. Victor is talking about primer, I think. From understand. Yes, Victor is still talking about paint. So that's Lynn is doing the painting. So we'll get back to you on that one. But thank you, Victor, for always showing up too on Fridays, and everybody out there for always showing up on Fridays. Any last words for anybody?
Just everyone.
Check in on each other.
I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Check in and do your best. And if you're not feeling your best, it's okay. And we're all doing the best we can. And it looks very different from different people. And don't be hard on yourself.
Yeah. And Sarah?
Yeah. It's a new day. It's a new week. It's a new year.
I think everybody's feeling that, right?
Yeah, I think so. How could you not? I mean, I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't even understand that. So, yeah. Oh, I'm drinking a. My husband has been really into making cocktails through COVID, and so this is a very spicy margarita, and it's delicious. And I'm probably bad form for cocktail nerds. I'm drinking it in a wine glass, but I like to drink things in wine glasses. I'll throw beer in wine glasses, so I'll throw White Claw in a wine glass. I've been known to do that.
You know what?
Well,
don't judge.
Yeah, there is no judgment. So, and anybody out there too, if you happen to go to a bar soon, remember to get Neta Mezcal, which is Mike's brand out there, or in the community out there. So yeah, and that's if you drink mezcal, make sure it goes back to the community. Make sure it goes back to the people that actually do it, and make sure it help out the community out there that need it out there. Because some people.
Ruben, is that sold locally?
Yes. Well, you can get it at Cantina Alley. I know that 'cause
Okay,
that's where I drink
cool.
it at. So, Mike, is there any place in Sacramento? And maybe I might think
Good bottle,
La
maybe?
Cosecha.
Okay.
No, they don't have it. Yeah, they
Okay.
have different ones. Yeah,
Okay.
but Neta is a very unique brand. Very good.
Okay.
So, and
Cool.
then that's perfect. And then see, Victor's gonna be up all night. He drank a Monster. Yeah.
That makes my stomach hurt just thinking about that.
Oh, Raquel or Raquel. Yeah. So can't wait to go to a bar. That's one thing we miss so much. Yes.
Yes. Oh my gosh,
So,
I miss you guys. I know that sounds so terrible, but I miss just bellying up to a bar.
yeah.
Same
I miss
here.
it. Oh, I miss it. And sitting next to somebody side by side, like that intimacy and that conversation. Oh,
There's
I
nothing
want to
wrong
go
with
to
that.
Red Rabbit and have a Krakow salt mine. The most delicious cocktail known to mankind.
yeah.
In
I don't
my
think, I
humble,
don't think
very
they've had it.
humble opinion.
I'll have to go try that.
Oh,
Yeah.
delicious.
Well, my first day in Oaxaca, I was with Brian Valenzuela and Nick Miller.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hey guys, they'd never been to Oaxaca. We're there for Dia de los Muertos. So I'm like, hey, we're gonna go to take me where you go. Okay. First night we went to a mezcal tasting, and it was with Neta Mezcal, and
Ooh,
and so it was with and it was them and their and we just had the most wonderful experience there in Mexico, in Oaxaca drinking, and everybody was so nice, and that's why I love going back there, and I miss it back there. So I am
That's
gonna go
awesome.
back soon.
I heard
Yeah.
about that trip. It sounded awesome.
Yes. Oh, see, Sarah is sake, and now, there you go. So, and then I think Raquel said about the, cozying up to a bar somewhere, and it's going to be weird going to a bar after all this stuff too, because you're like, we're sipping, or doing all this stuff, and what are we going to do after that, and kind of get programmed, I guess, into it,
Yeah, comfortable
So-
again. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're going to come right back to it, and we'll get right back there as soon as it's safe and
Yeah.
good.
You're very sweet. Thanks, Mike. You too, man. You know what was very nice seeing was Dr. Fauci being like honest. He's like, yeah, I'm on translation. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna tell you what's up.
yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like it was nice to see like him smile and go, yeah, I actually tell you what I want to tell you.
You know what else is really nice? Complete sentences coming from the leader of the country. That's
all
nice.
right. This is it.
And the press secretary.
You
Yeah.
are. You're
Yeah.
lucky I'm drinking
That's
wine and not
something
mezcal, because then
we'll
we'd
have
have like
to
another
do
hour
now.
of that shit.
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking
Here
about.
for it.
I'm always trying to be like, okay, so let's
Talk about our
energy, let's
feelings.
escape it.
Yeah.
Let's but I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it. And so it is
It is a new day.
Yeah.
Fuck
And and I think we're all feeling that too. I'm like,
Yeah.
I read a thing about QAnon. I'm like, do I have to do that right now? I don't want to tell someone I understand what they're talking about. I'm out.
Yeah.
I just want to be like free right now. Just like, oh, you know what? It's this weight is lifted. Like you said, people are talking in full sentences. People are actually talking about facts and science, which is nice, right? I mean, when are you ever going to celebrate that? That's so bizarre to be able to
the bar has never been lower. Let's be honest.
I know.
The bar has never been lower.
So you know what? So let's hold on. Let me pour my wine now. Give me a second right here before we go, and we'll cheers to a new day and a day of I believe in science and facts.
Oh no,
right?
I have a drop, but
That's okay.
cheers.
And
I got it. I got this. This drop is for a new era.
Yeah, and then look, Victor even says, I'm drinking out of a Clear Del Taco cup, which is awesome. See?
Yes,
Amazing.
Victor.
It's not a taco bowl, so that's awesome.
Cheers to
Right.
that.
So, everybody out there, the lift is, we do have a lot of work, but for right now, let's just enjoy the moment. And the
Yeah.
moment is clear, right? Cheers to everybody out there.
Cheers.
And cheers,
Cheers.
I mean, this part, we have to cheers to whole sentences. That's pretty sad. But it's good. It feels good, so I'm not going to complain about that one. But everybody, thank you for coming out. Come out next Friday. Cali Cocktail Hour. We're here for you every Friday at 9 o'clock. So come out and, hang out with everybody. Salute. Cheers. Salud.
Cheers, beautiful Sarah.
Yeah. And yeah, so you two just stay on just for a quick talk,
Sure.
real quick, and we will see you later. And everybody, thank you. We love you. And if that's all you're here to say, is that we do love you. And even, it's okay for guys to say I love you too. So all the dudes out there, I do love you. Okay, this one guy from the other. So, sorry. Yeah, I mean, I love everybody, but guys have to get to that point where we can just say we love each other. So.
Of course.
I mean, you don't have to, but I mean, I give Jesse a long hug, but that's a different story too. So, but that's Jesse. Yeah. Anyways, all right. Thank you for coming out. Let me get these comments before we go. Everybody says, "Love you back." Yeah, love you. There you go. And everybody, next Friday, come out. We don't know what we're gonna have, but we will have something for you. So, thank you for coming to Cali Cocktail Hour Friday night. We will see you there. We'll end you now.
Thank you.
I've seen my dad, and I'm alive to kill the time. What triggers the idea of la da da da? La